and welcome to another video. And today's video, we are going to be talking about the Carolina Panthers rebuild. Now, before we get in, well, or not talk about the Carolina
Continue ahead
Panthers
to begin
rebuild,
your
we're
franchise.
doing the Carolina Panthers rebuild. um, this team is in a very rare situation. You know, they're kind of like in the Jaguars' foots here. Not because they had the first overall pick, but they're in a very tight, but also relatively interesting situation. So, here's to take a look at their offense. Their offense isn't the end of the world. Like, it is a pretty average offense. You have Hayden Hurst, you have DJ Chark, Adam Thielen. Like, you got some solid wideouts, and also a pretty solid offensive line. Which maybe just in a couple more years, Glenn McGlone can pan out of what they did, draft him for, which is to be one of the best linemen in the draft. Then this is the defense. It is schemed as a 3-4, but like in the terms of how the defense runs, so I will change it to 3-4. But I wanted to talk about the defense first. The defense is relatively interesting. So you have Von Bell. You have Jamarity Chin, Brian Burns, who's arguably one of the best pass rushers in the league. Well, maybe not the best, but he's definitely up there as a top 10 candidate. And that's kind of about it. Like, this team is not one of those teams where you think they would be really young. They really aren't. I mean, look at, like, Shaq
This is
Thompson.
the player card.
He is
Here you
29
can see
years
your
old.
strength. Here are a player's
He's
motivations.
going to eventually get worse, despite he's good and stuff. Then you have Adam Thielen, you have Hayden Hurst, you have Tori Atamala. This is a very old kind of group, kinda. It's like a 50-50. This group is old, but this group is also young at the same time. I think this scheme I am going to run is 3-4. I don't know what playbook I might want to run, so I'm just going to run for Green Bay for now. But this is what I'm going to be running for now. I mean, it would be just such more easier if I would just move it to just a 4-3 type of scheme. It seems like Franklin Talulu really does know how to get after the quarterback, which I don't know if that's quite true or not. But the one thing I do disagree is that he's normal depth. That's something I have to disagree with. So yeah, he had 7 sacks, 99 tackles, 20 of them for loss, and 1 interception. So yeah, it seems like a 3-4 would work in this specific scheme with him. He's more of a 3-4 type of guy, it seems like. So I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if we do run a 3-4. It's just I don't know what I want to do with my team, because outside of Derek Brown, there isn't a clear starter for any of my DN positions. I guess I could just move Justin Houston there, but like he's like a band-aid that is just getting ready to rip off eventually. Which I also disagree. He doesn't have star depth. This team though, as a whole, could win the division, and I had them as division winners. I still don't know if I have them as division winners yet, and I also need to get back on the series. It is like literally a struggle trying to like compete with the division. Well, compete with doing it and not because of Madden 24, but yeah, but it seems like they have probably one of the biggest depth safety rooms out of the entire league, and that's actually kind of interesting because they have Xavier Woods and then they have Eric Rowe. I think both of them are going to get traded because we just don't need good safeties like that as backups. We just don't. Jonathan Mingo, I would like him to play a starting role, but I don't know specifically where. I think maybe at WR3, I would like to try to see him get some reps. It's no offense to him because obviously they traded him for him, but he actually could just been moved to tight end. He could be a backup tight end. I mean, I wouldn't be the end of the world if Hayden Hurst just doesn't pan out. But that's not what I'm going to be working on. So the offense still needs some work. We do need a true WRO option. Adam Thielen is literally just a band-aid, and again, like I said, with Justin Houston, ready to be ripped off. By the end of the season, we do need a fix on the interior. Austin Carbett is a very good player. It's just we need to fix on one of these two if they don't pan out. And then on defense, we need to fix the D-line, except with Derek Brown, obviously. We need a CB3, and I think that's about it. We do need to get better. Like, we need some actual talent, not just good to great players. We need some elite players. Brian Burns is one of them. For some reason, he's an 88, which I completely disagree with. But as a whole, this team, I started to get confused of why I even called this team. The more I thought about it, why did I call them winning the division? But it started to make more sense when I thought about it for a long period of time. Because this team has potential. If Bryce Young can just be off the bats exactly what everybody thinks of him, this team can make it to the playoffs without any problem. It's just the problem is how good this team really will be. It really depends on how good this team goes. I think Adam Thielen will be a solid WR1 option, and I wouldn't be surprised if he would get a lot of points in fantasy this year. Like, at all. Bailey, quit it. Come here. Come here, Bailey. Bailey, come up here. Bailey. I'm sorry, it's a dog. Come here, Bailey. Bailey. Come here. Come here, Bailey. Bailey. Come here. Come here, you silly goose. Come here. Could you come over here? Bailey. Bailey. Bailey, come here. Good girl. God. This baby is sometimes a little annoying, you know? But back to where I was saying. I think Adam Thielen is going to have a breakout season, but I think then he's going to start to progress ever since in that season. I just think that's going to happen, because that's just my opinion. And who knows? Maybe he does have one more year and then he retires. Who knows? It's really interesting to see what they're going to do, but I will be having Jonathan Mingo try to develop into a wide receiver, because I am quite curious to see what does he have. And there also are some mid-season moves that I might want to consider doing, because we don't have a first-round pick this year because of trading for Bryce Young, and we also don't have a second-round pick. So it's kind of like we were the Saints back in Madden 23, but worse, in my opinion. Because they traded for 2 first-round picks and stuff. Wow. Okay then, so we went 4-2. We have a breakout QB. So this is actually
quickly review the league's top performers and
pretty nice. Not gonna lie with you. So we have the 8th worst offense. which I guess is expected, but for some reason we have the best defense in the league. I do not know how, but I am not complaining. I already could tell, like, we're not going to make it to the postseason just because of how terrible our offense has been playing. Houston are 0-6, so this should be an easy game to win. Like, it should be. I'm not saying it's a guarantee we're going to win the game, because we're kind of in par of overall ratings. Let's see, who do we have to negotiate with?
These players are on the last year of their contract.
Okay. So there are going to be some players that I'm not bringing back. Luka, like, he's an interesting one. I don't know if I want to quite bring him back. He's young, he's decent. It's just the problem is he has normal development, which that makes it a little more difficult.
Choose from
Deion
4 preset
Jones,
offers that range in level of risk.
I think a 1-year pack, but I'll give you like a decent amount of money. Alright, so he's back. Just on a 1-year deal. I just don't know what I want to do with him yet. Brian Burns. He says he doesn't fit in the scheme. That's a little interesting. I'll still be giving him a ton of money. Like, he's like, I think, arguably the best player on this team. And I don't think that's even a long shot, so I'm giving him just a 5-year deal worth a ton of money. So the good thing is that we got him back. Jamari Chin is going to be interesting, because we also have Xavier Woods, and I also could just move him to outside middle linebacker instead. He really fits the scheme. He just doesn't quite like that we don't have anybody. Well, we're not in a Super Bowl run right now for some reason. So I think I might wait on him, but it might not pay off. DJ Chark is another guy I want to let walk. I want to get Jonathan Mingo as much reps as possible. It's a little hard. I want to keep him, but he has no interest into coming back. So I think I will be trading him with a few other players I might want to get rid of. Now, I wasn't even expecting at all we're going to be this good, to be honest. Like, I wasn't expecting us to be a 4-2 record heading in, but I'm not saying that wasn't going to happen. So, he ended up having superstar death, right? I don't remember if he did or not. I think he does. No, it still doesn't say he even has development or anything, so I think I am going to trade Lukush's Skull. I'm also going to be trading Terrace Marshall Jr. just to make sure he actually is on the WR3 position no matter what. I also would like to trade him because I want to get something rather than nothing. Eric Rowe and Xavier Woods will be other players, and I think that's going to be it. Hopefully, we could try to get a first-round draft pick. I don't think it's going to be likely, but I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just we're going to have to kind of get lucky. Kind of have to get lucky for one of these, like, 3-4 schemed teams who need to end are playoff contenders, like the Baltimore Ravens. But that's not quite enough. They also have a need at left guard, right tackle. I know they probably wouldn't need a young receiver, so Terrace Marshall Jr. should be an interest to them, which he is, but it's not quite enough. I don't want to, trade a draft pick, because we're already low on draft picks in general, as you can see. So I think trying to trade players is just the best thing to do. So I think I'm gonna trade. Let's trade Hender Anderson. Right, there we go. Trade accepted. We get a first round pick. That's very useful. And now we can finally don't have to worry that we don't have a first round pick this year. Eric Rowe, Xavier Woods, and I'm pretty sure one other receiver. And I think that's it. I mean, I guess I could trade CJ Henderson since I don't think he's going to come back at all. But I'm honestly curious to see what could we get for Eric Rowe. Demary Robertson. He's not that bad. I'm just wondering, is that what I want? Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham has been underrated for quite some time. But again, I guess this is what you think when you have a Cowboys fanboy rating these Madden teams. I don't really know what I want for him. I guess maybe like a decent edge rusher for now in a 3-4 type of scheme. Like a player swap like this. Alright, so we get Omega Mo'agba for exchange of Eric Rowe. So now we got a nice player who actually fits the scheme. Who might only be here for like a couple of years, but that's okay. So what I think I might do is move Brian Burns to D-tackle, like I feel like he should be. And then I'm going to move Justin Houston to right end. Yeah, I guess Justin Houston. And that's going to be pretty much my defense, except I am trading a couple of other players. So I won't be surprised this team doesn't make it to the postseason, but this team is repetitively still good, so who knows. DJ Chark and Lucas Chanel, I both are some of the last players I want to trade, but I'm going to trade Lucas Chanel and Xavier Woods in the same package, just to see if we could potentially get a nice, like, wide receiver, maybe? Who knows? This team wasn't in need of safety. The question is, to me, is who do I want to target? I got Van Jefferson. That's interesting. It's kind of just a little hard for me to figure out who do I want to get. Brandon Cooks. Max Hollins is still underrated. I feel like he should be a little bit higher. And I bet you he also has normal death, which that's something he shouldn't be having. Like, I feel like if people broke out in real life, I feel like their overall rating should be better. You know what? Let me just find the team that has the most interest out of the two. I think I might just pick the Cardinals and just try to get their second next year. But that's just what I think I want to do, because we can use the second next year, and they did accept it. Then the last thing I want to do is trade DJ Chark. Pretty much I just want is mid-round picks. Or a decent player on the team. That's kind of one of the two. Who isn't old like Middle Ingram. Yeah, none of these offers are particularly interesting. I do like this one, though. Daniel Benento. That could be nice, just in case if we do want to cut him. Cody Durant. That's not a bad offer, because he would be my starting corner right away, actually. So if I could just, like, throw in, like, a 6, I think this would be a deal. If I could throw in a 6, which that's an if. because I will be upgrading him, and I know that's kind of cheating, but he should be a lot better than what he is. Okay. Cody Durant, that trade was declined. What about a 6? Okay. It seems like that's not going to work, but... Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to throw in a 5th. You don't need those. I would like to get a 6. So, it's a little interesting, but again, I kind of want to, like, get Cody Durant no matter what. So, yeah. Cody Durant, he's a decent corner option. Like, I don't think he's quite going to be a starter, but who knows. Um, but I think he is going to be one of the more better corners in the league. And like nobody really knows this guy. That's the thing. Nobody really knows that he even exists. He had a decent year last year. Just look at his PFF grade. He had a decent year last year. Nobody's talking about him, which just makes it very interesting. Bailey, Bailey Bear, come up here. No, okay. Now, do I think this team is gonna make it to the postseason? Probably not. But I wouldn't be shocked if they don't, because again, we are tied in the division against the Buccaneers for some reason, out of all the teams, and we're on par with the Saints. It's just the Saints haven't had the bye week yet. So. Wide receiver, I think wide receiver, right? We just need to get better at that position. I would like to see, though, if there's any potential edge rushers, which I guess I should have targeted that, but I don't really think so. So let's hope that Tampa Bay loses. Let's hope that Tampa Bay loses against whatever team they're going against, and hope that we win, obviously. So we do win. Buccaneers and both Saints lost. That is very, very good. And also, we got a DB upgrade. I thought it was running back up breakout. It's J.C. Horn. So if we throw under 150 yards, or if he gets 2+ interceptions, forced fumbles, tackles for loss, or sacks, he will be getting superstar dev, which I wouldn't be surprised he would get. Now let's see what happened with our breakout QB thing. I don't think he got it. That's my... Yep, he didn't get it. Which is okay. I mean, yeah, it would have helped, but he's already getting superstar dev, I'm pretty darn sure, so it's not the end of the world. 27 and 17, though. That's nice. Again, it seems like our defense is really good. And in that game, though, our offense was also pretty good, too. So, it's not bad. We're just gotta hope that this keeps happening. Like, not, I mean, us necessarily winning every week, but, like, just the Buccaneers and the Saints losing games. That's kind of what I mean. But I think I am going to simulate it to the postseason. Do I still believe we're not going to make it to the postseason? Yes. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen. That's something you're going to point out. And we won the division. Okay then. I don't know what's up with this team, but I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, our offense made a major turnaround. Nice to see. And we have a top 5 defense. I don't know how, but I'm not gonna complain. Bryce Young had a pretty good season, 20 touchdowns in net, which means you're subtracting how many interceptions he throws with his touchdowns, which, if you guys didn't know, Miles Sanders just went off. Same thing with Sam Hubbard. 31 touchdowns between the two. Think about that for a moment. 31. That's a lot of touchdowns. Adam Thielen, as I thought, pretty much was the best receiver on the team. Josiah Smith, though, was more of our touchdown target. Jonathan Mingo did have a decent time when he was on the field. Which, again, he only played like a half season. Our O-line was pretty good. I mean, Iguana allowing 7 is a little upsetting. But that's not the end of the world, like I said. Justin Houston had 9 sacks, the leader. But I think with Emmanuel Agba just in there a little bit more, I think that's going to change. 5 interceptions for both J.C. Horn and Deontay Jackson. That's pretty crazy. 3 interceptions for Deion Jones. 2 interceptions for Marquis Hayden Sr. and Von Bell. And 1 interception for Brian Burns, C.J. Anderson, Jamarity Chin, and Shaq Thompson. I don't want to quit, duh. So heading in, I don't really have any sort of expectation, I guess you could say. But we did just crap on the frickin' Buccaneers, which isn't really a big thing, I guess you could say. But I think Miles Sanders might be winning a Pro Bowl nod this year. I mean, isn't that not really a shocker, though? Because, like, he's had a really good season. Like, 21 touchdowns, though. Think about that. So, yeah. I won't be surprised we lose, but I also wouldn't be surprised we win because it is the Giants, who don't really have any receivers, and we lost. Which is okay, because, again, this is our first playoff experience. So, it ain't the end of the world. Well, not for Frank Wright, that is. I just mean for the team. Most of the team in general, not Miles Sanders, who literally was just in a Super Bowl. But I by like most of the players, most of the because the Panthers haven't made it to the postseason. I'm pretty sure since like 2018 or 2017 or something like that. I don't know. Don't fact check it. But not gonna lie, still pretty good season. We did put up a fight against the Giants. It just sucks that it was the defense that let us down. I mean, I guess you could say our offense as well, because they only put up like 21 points. But you kind of get what I mean.
Staff, to see some talent trees make you select a path to.
I don't know why they don't have Frank Wright as an offensive-minded head coach when he literally is an offensive-minded head coach. I mean, literally he is. If you guys think that's a lie, guess what? It ain't. I do think though, like, I think just with like more talent on the team, just in general, this team is going to be so much more better than what it is, which is not the best. But again, like, this is a young team. Like I said before, this is a very young team with not much playoff experience. But it doesn't mean this team can't make a playoff run next year, because now they actually have experience in the playoffs. So that's something just to point out. So again, and the Giants, they actually have playoff experience, unlike us. They're also relatively not a young team, really. So it's kind of makes sense why the Giants did win. But I am a little disappointed at how our defense did play, because this defense was a top 3 unit for the entire year. And just for us to crap the bed in the wildcard round. The offense, yeah, I think it is a little upsetting to see how the offense was in their first playoff game. Maybe somewhat, like I said, because it's, again, their first playoff game, so, yeah. Packers beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. Wow. And Rams had Byron. I really do think Byron Young, like, can I see Byron Young winning Defensive Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. But I can definitely see him winning, like, I bet you, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a top 10 candidate into making a Defensive Rookie of the Year. Number 1? I don't think so. Like, I don't remember when the Rams got Byron Young. Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure it was like in the 70s or something. When was Byron Young drafted? He was drafted the number 78 overall pick. And it was by the Rams. So yeah, I'm not caring about Roy Lopez that much. Jamardi Chin has now a ton of interest, because now we're in a Super Bowl chase, because we just made it to the postseason. The only thing he doesn't like is that he has no mentor at the position, which I don't understand. You don't need a mentor. I'll give him a 3-year pack. He didn't accept the contract? Well, I'm going to let him walk, because I know for sure we're definitely going to probably get him back in free agency. I thought Justin Houston was 75, which is why I was about to give him a 1-year pack. But he's a 72, so no. So we are around like 50 mil in cap space, which that should be good enough to try to make some splashes in free agency. Some, not a lot. Not a lot, but some.
View a player. You have 3 evaluation periods with each state.
Yeah, so there are some freaking players. Christian Wilkins. I guess this wouldn't be a terrible move at all. 3-year pack. Exactly how much I want him on the team for. And welcome to the Panthers if you decide to frickin' sign. Stephon Gilmore? I mean, it's a little tough because I don't know if I want it. I think a 1-year pack would work. I know he wasn't really that good in Carolina, I think. But we're now changed to scheme 3-4, so that's something to point out. Is Jermaine Ching getting any offers? I'm kind of curious. There is Antoine Winfield, who's only getting 2. It's just the problem is he has less interest. But I would like to give you a 5-year pack and worth a lot of money. The problem is that's really all we can do if we are going to get these 2 players, which I wouldn't complain because these are some relatively good players. So Christian Wilkins is still thinking on his contract, why we only gotten Stephon Gilmore. So that's kind of not the greatest. So now we kind of have a little hole at the safety position. But I think we can have Michael High on the team. We are a playoff team. He does have interest. It just makes sense. And he's also the best remaining free safety. So it also makes sense. I mean, Nick Bosa, I know Nick Bosa's available, but he just doesn't have any interest, so that's why I'm not signing it. Is there really anybody else that I want to consider getting back or trying to sign? We do need to fix the left guard center position, so I'm just curious to see who's available. Davian Lewis, that's a decent signing. Connor Williams, I think I am going to go with Connor Williams, because he is just he's a good center. He isn't great, but he's a good center option, and that's something we can use. Oh wait, I forgot we don't have enough money. Well, I'll just hope for the draft to introduce some good players, and we got both of those players. So our defense is going to be pretty good next year because we have pretty much one of the best defensive lines, which I guess I don't know if I really needed to bring Christian Wilkins then. Oh, I guess that's not the end of the world. We have an amazing corner group. We have a very good safety room. I just think we need to work on our outside linebacker and interior offensive line. And also tight end, because I didn't know Hayden Hurst is under a new deal. Oh yeah, and wide receiver. Because our best receiver right now is Jonathan Mingo, and despite how good he is, he's not going to be a good WR1, and the only other player literally in the receiving position is Sermon Smith. And I bet you nobody even knows who he is. So yeah, I think we need to address the receiver position, we need to be addressing the interior position, and we also need to be addressing outside linebacker. But I don't think outside linebacker edge is the biggest need, because our defense outside of that is pretty nasty. And our defense is top 3. So I don't think we really need to worry about that. What we do need to worry is our receiving position. Because our receiving position is hot, diddly garbage. I thought Adam Thielen was still going to be on the team, and I still was questioning if I want to bring him back. But now he's gone. So I didn't even get the option to. So that's an issue.
And now on the clock.
So we get the 23rd overall pick. That's kind of where we were in terms of the draft position. Yeah, so we were 24. So we just went one pick upwards, which that's not the end of the world. But receiver is the biggest need. There is Wade Ferrin. I want to just see how good he really is. If he is really good, I think I have to take him. I think I can't pass this. He is such an amazing offensive lineman. I don't really care about his pass blocking, because I don't really care that much. It's just, I really want to, he's going to be amazing. That's why I'm taking him. I don't care if he has normal depth. That doesn't mean that he's going to be a bad player. He's probably going to be an upgrade over Barry Basnone, and that is why I got him here. So now the second pick has to be a receiver. It literally has to be a receiver. Or a tight end, if one of the two would work. So we have to get one, no matter what. It doesn't matter who's available. We have to get one. Deep threat, Jamarity Cheeseman. Is Jonathan Mingo a deep threat? I'm pretty sure he is. But, he is very athletic. He has some really good stats. I just think it makes sense here. He's A and B in run block, by the way, which that's pretty good. Hidden development. I think he's going to be a very good receiver. That's just my opinion. But before we move on, I might be gambling a little bit, but I am going to trade Barry Basmore for at least just some sort of maybe veteran receiver, because we do need to get a receiver. When I mean by that, I really meant that pretty badly. To the point where I will be trading Barry Basborn for a receiver. It's okay they are at negative cap space, because we are here just to trade for a receiver. We're not here to do anything else. Greg Dutch. That wouldn't be bad. Greg Dutch, do I get him? The problem is there was no other receiver I wanted to get. And yet they didn't even accept that deal. So, imagine if I had to try to trade for, Cord Sutton. Yeah, we don't even have enough cap space for that. So, pretty much Greg Dutch is literally the only option that can fit for both of us. So, I think a 5th round pick in Greg Dutch, not Greg Dutch, Barry Basborn for Greg Dutch, which, again, decent tight end option. I don't know if he's quite my starter, but he's, again, a decent receiving option, and that's what we needed. So now our receiving position is not such a big of a need anymore. But I would still like to maybe draft one other wide receiver, just because of how desperate we are at that position. Because of just how desperate. So, there is a good tight end available. It's just the problem is I already have one drafted, so that's not going to work. The best maybe remaining receiver is Terrace Dorsett. And he is very athletic. He doesn't have any good traits. I'm not saying he has any good traits. He really doesn't. But again, he has A and B in run blocking. He's a very good kick returner, so at least we can get something out of this pick. And he also has a good deep route ability. He also has C and D in awareness. B, C. I think I'm going to take him. Yes, this pick might not pan out, but at least he can play kick returner. So no matter what, I wouldn't be surprised if this pick does pan out, just because of him as a kick returner or punt returner. Again, I don't know, and I honestly do not care. That pick should pan out in either direction, and that literally does not matter. Or we could move him in the running back, and he could be like the Cornell Patterson. Move to receiver to running back, and then he starts to get good. Hey, I'm just saying. Wait, wasn't Miles Sanders on a 1-year deal? I thought he was on a... Is Miles Sanders... Wait, is Miles Sanders still on the team? I don't remember. Because I thought he had a 1-year deal. But I don't know if that's actually true or not. Let's see here. Nope, he didn't have a 1-year deal. Okay, that's actually... Jesus Lord. Why did we... Oh yeah, I forgot we had Harrison Smith. Or Hayden Hurst, I should say. And we would get in the negative cap space if we tell them. Well, for now, I think. So I think if I keep him for just this week and then move on to next week, I don't think it's going to be negative anymore. So let's see just our first 2 picks. I mean, I guess I also might want to see my 3rd pick. So he's a 70 overall. I would like to be the WR3, but I don't think that's going to happen with Smith around. We did end up getting a good center. It just sucks he was normal dev. And we got a nice WR1 option, even over Jonathan Mingo. So, I think this was a good draft. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the picks pan out, but we did end up getting a solid W1. We did get a 3rd running back option in Poe, so that's not bad. With one of our picks, which I'm pretty sure we only had 2 left after I was done drafting. Yeah. And the last pick we end up using, outside of Devontae Poe, was Earl Holloway, who's more of a speed rusher. So I think moving him to left end which again he would still be in the interior, would it be the end of the world? How? Wait. Oh, he's a 68 if I move him to edge. So, looking at the draft, this is a pretty good draft. The fact the lowest overall player is at 68 is not that bad at all. We got an upgrade at center. We have an upgrade at receiver. So this should be a pretty good season. Yes, our receiving core got worse in the offseason, and I don't think any receiver in the draft would have helped with that. But they could pan out in the future. So that's the thing we gotta mention. I think cutting Hayden Hurst or trading him or something is definitely the move. We can't have him on the team for any longer. Because we already have Ray Dutch, and would like him to be the starter. So, get him out of here. And plus, we need some cap space. Simon Smith, another player I want to get rid of, because I want him, my other receiver to start, so goodbye. And we're going to just sign some backup receivers, because that's kind of what we need to do right now. Because look at my receiving position. Nobody else. So, we're going to sign 1-year packs to maybe just undrafted rookies and just see what happens. I wonder if there any remaining, undrafted rookie who's good. Rashawn Shazier. I am a little shocked he's available in free agency. So let's sign him. I know we had Dorsett and I wanted him to start, but I wasn't expecting him to be available. Because of how good he is. You know? There is also a decent undrafted rookie in Jabbar Borman, who is a scheme fit. So, there's another decent WR5 option. And the last player I also want to get is Justin Ross, because we do need a physical receiver. And he fits that role as a physical receiver. So, there you go. I like our receiving core. I like everybody on the receiving core. I like everybody. It's really nice. And they're not all all above 70 overall receivers. No, there aren't. But that's okay. Because you don't need all of our receivers to be a 70 overall to win a Super Bowl. Even if this receiving core isn't the greatest. So yeah, I like our offense. Is the interior position maybe somewhat of a need still? Yes. But again, at least we still have him, who's, again, a decent option. And then we got defense. A pretty good defense still. But, again, like I said, we kind of need to fix the outside linebacker position. But besides that, this is a pretty much ready for a defense to just go this season. And I won't be shocked if we don't make it this if we do make it to the Super Bowl this year, because this is how good this team really is. Again, the only problem is our receiving position. That's the thing that's going to hold us back this year, is the receiving position. Unless our second-round pick can pan out to be, I don't know, one of the best receivers in the league, I don't think this receiving core is not going to be a thing that's going to help us make it to the postseason. Matter of fact, hurt it. Hello, welcome to the stream. I really appreciate you for complimenting. Yeah, I like seeing people just say like hi or something like that. It kind of just makes sure that you know I'm on track. So I'm just mentioning that. Alright, so we head into season 3 and 4. I think that's kind of what I expected. Like, nothing spectacular, but nothing, like, insanely terrible, so... This is kind of what I expected. Just because, again, we are in a very disturbing situation at receiver, so... Yeah. So, we have a 15th in offense. So, is the defense then the issue? Yeah, it's the defense, which is a little interesting because our defense made a top 3 last year. Bryce Young, he has been amazing, only throwing like 2 interceptions the entirety of the first half. Miles Sanders, he's also been good. It just sucks that we have only had like 3 touchdowns. Actually 4, but like again, we haven't gotten so much going on. And the only player that's really still putting up touchdowns is Devontae Poe, which is a bit of an issue. Rashawn Shatzine, he's been a good receiver. He's probably going to be a WR1 until he pans out or he pans out. It's one of the two. The O-line, you need to be protecting a quarterback better. The fact you've allowed 6 sacks and no one else has had even more than 4 is kind of upsetting. Brian Burns has so far had the most sacks. Christian Wilkinson not that far off. Thank goodness. 2 interceptions for Von Bell and 1 interception for Stephon Gilmore. So it just kind of seems like maybe the rest of the defense, outside of like maybe Brian Burns and Christian Wilkins, haven't really been doing their part. That's just what it seems so far. So we have 7 players to negotiate contracts with. And I think bringing back Derek Brown is not even a priority. It is literally just something we have to do. So, yeah, he's back on an also cheap contract, so at least we get some more, so we can run around with the money. Stephon Gilmore and Micah Hyde, I would be both waiting on. Most likely, Micah Hyde will not be on the team next year, but I'm just waiting. J.C. Horn, he's wanting a 5-year pack? He's actually wanting more than that. Like, how about a 4-year pack, but I'll give you, like, a lot of money. How much money you're getting is already cheap as is, so I wouldn't really be bothered to giving him more money. Alright, so he is back on a 4-year pack instead of a 5, thank goodness. Shaq Townsend, another player I might want to wait on. Austin Kmet, I would like to bring back, just not on a long contract. Yeah, like a 2-year deal. That works. That definitely works. But he probably wants a long deal contract. And then we got Deontay Jackson. I think he's like one of the last players I want to bring back. 1-year pack. How's the 2-year looking? Alright, so he's back on a 2-year pack. It's also very cheap. So we have $65 million of cap. But there are a couple of other players it seems like I want to bring back. Just maybe not at the moment. So we're gonna be waiting for a while. Hopefully we can beat the Chargers, keep our playoff hopes alive, and we do actually get our first round pick this year. So if we don't make it to the playoffs, it ain't the end of the world. But which position do I want to focus on? That's the question. I mean, I think interior, but I don't know if I want to quite do that even. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Who do I want to focus on? Yeah, it really seems to just be outside linebackers and stuff. D-tackle isn't a need. I don't know why it says it is a need, but it really isn't. Left end, though, I think is a bit of a need because Agnamo Agba, as decent as he is going to be like 31, I think, next year. And right side linebacker is definitely a need, so it's a little tough. And there's also just like no edge rushers. That's a bit of an issue. There's like no pass rushers. This is more 4-3 scheme. So it's a little interesting. So do I just trade like a second or a third just for a decent outside edge? I mean, we have the cap space, number one. And our defense is a bit of an issue, and we're also in a playoff run. So I think it does make sense. Okay, nothing like no big player. We don't need a big player. That's the last thing we need. But I would like to try to get at least somewhat of a decent option who can be a decent starter. Like, who can make some plays, but he doesn't really quite carry the team. And I also want him to be decently young as well, so I'm not looking for, like, any crazy player. Oh, we're in negative. We're in negative cap? Dang. Alex Highsmith kind of fits the bill there. Actually, Genoa Wosu fits that even better. The problem is we're still in negative cap. So do I just trade my left guard? Because I am not bringing him back. And that's what I've been planning to do. The problem is, there is literally it's impossible for us to figure out a trade for that. So, we can't do that. Unfortunately, I would like to do that. David Ojabo, that wouldn't be a bad option. He's young, he's decent, fits both of the bills pretty well. And how about for Barry Basborn? Okay. But I would like to maybe swap third round picks just because it just doesn't seem like an ideal trade. We're still in negative cap. We're still in negative cap. How about then just Connor Wilton? Oh no, we are the ones negative cap. Oh, another impossible trade because of the cap space, man. It's beating us up so hard. Oh, they had Tariq Wilson. And it doesn't seem like he's been panning out as they wanted. But once again, alright, they got cap space. You gotta be freaking kidding. And it's not even because of... You don't have anybody. Tommy Temple? Nah, I don't want to do that. How about Ian Thomas? So yeah, I have no choice but to trade him. Okay. Please just accept. No. And we're not even close. Nice. Can't we just, like, find an edge rusher? Please. For the love of God. Lucas Van Ness? No, that's not gonna happen. Who is our pass rusher? Like, I'm kind of getting a little upset and frustrated because we can't find this goddamn pass rusher. I mean, your Montos is a decent option. I don't think it's going to be the option I might want. JOK. How about Barry Basborn? Okay, so it's just like 30k, so like Ian Thomas would work. I know they're accepting this like it's nothing, so I would like to throw in a third round pick if this can fit into the deal. Alright. Barry Bazemore and a third, so we're pretty much swapping thirds. And also Barry Christianman and Ian Thomas for Barry Bazemore. The problem is now we don't have a left guard. That isn't a problem. So we're pretty much going to be signing whoever's available in free agency to be in our guard at the moment. So now guard is a priority. But at least it locks up pretty much our guaranteed edge rusher. It's just the problem is I'm going to have to pay him right away. So again, I'm not expecting him to be anything crazy. I'm just expecting him to be decent. And AJ Klein, all right. He's again a decent option. The problem is, oh freaking cat's face is signing him. You gotta be freaking kidding me, huh? It's like kicking a can. It's like rolling a ton of tape when you stop rolling tape. It's like that's how it's like that pretty much. And it's really pissing me off. It is. It really is. So we are okay. So we won. So we're in a bye week. Thank goodness. So hopefully we could just do something. So I would like to bring you in a 4-year pack. You know, just the low risk contract. Maybe I might ask for a little bit less money, but that ain't the end of the world. So yeah, he declined his contract. I meant to check. He's asking for a 3-year deal. Are you high? Are you actually crazy? Shaq, you know how old you are? No. I am asking for some. Look at how much money he's earning for a guard. What the heck, Austin Komet? Jane. Eddie Benito. Johnny Hecker. I don't think he's going to be my punter for any of them. Eddie Benito. Yeah, probably just a 2-year deal. Just up the signing bonus a little bit. So $55 million left in cap. If we're going to need a punter. I still don't know if I want to sign Micah Hyde or Stephon Gilmore yet. So we're kind of just going to wait on that for now. And we're currently winning the division. Again. So, yeah. I'm just hoping we can make it to the playoffs again. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I'm hoping for one of our receivers to have hopefully pan out into being a beast wide receiver. It's just something that we need. So, unfortunately, we did not make it to the postseason. But that doesn't mean that we can't make it to the postseason next year. Again, it's kind of like what the Packers had a problem with, was the receiving position. But I don't know if it's quite because of that. Who knows? So yeah, our offense was top 10 worse. So it seems like we got worse. And our defense got significantly better. So yeah, it kind of seems like a Packers type of a season. Bryce Young was pretty good still this year. Miles Sanders, another 1,000 yard season. But again, we got nothing in touchdowns on the run. It seems like, though, the best receiving options he had was Rasheen McNeil and Jamarian Crossan, who we drafted. Jonathan Mangoza was still a nice receiving target, so I don't think we need a target receiver. Our O-line was, again, it was good outside of the Gwen McGuano. And let's see our stats. Brian Burns with most in 11.5, but Christian Lucas with 10.5. So yeah, it seems like we got more towards the quarterback during the later parts of the season. 3 interceptions for Von Bell, and then 1 interception for most of the players later on. Again, it's not our fault. It's mainly kind of just we having a lack of experience at the receiver position. So we were experiencing growing pains, but look at week 18. We were killing the frickin' Browns. So if we just had more receiver experience, kind of Thielen staying in the league, this would have been such a different season, in my opinion. But again, in my opinion. I'm not saying that would actually happen, but you still don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I had my mic muted, so if you guys were wondering, oh wait, why is he not talking? Why is he not talking? It's because I wasn't talking. And I had my mic muted. Because I was just watching some YouTube, and I don't want to get copyright striked. So I think we're gonna do a couple more years, and if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, well, tough luck. So I'm not doing any more of this. So Stephon Gilmore ended up as an 84. Micah Hyde's an 83. Yes, I'm not bringing any of them back. Shaq Thompson, I would like to bring him on a 1-year deal, but that is not about to happen. Oh, never mind. Maybe it could. Just if I ask for, and well, accept a 1-year. Nope. So, yeah, we're gonna need a middle linebacker. I don't think there's anybody else I might want to bring back. I mean, I want to bring back all the receivers that I did end up getting from free agency. So like a 3-year deal for Justin Ross is back. I want to bring back all the receivers. I'm bringing them all back. Yeah, like a 2-year deal. Right. So we got all the receivers back, and that's kind of about it. So we have 40 million. I don't think that was as much we had last year, but that ain't the end of the world, as I said. Are we now in like the 2020? I think we are, right? In 5th-year option. I think that's what I'm probably going to do with Iguemeguanu, which is to pick up the 5th-year option, just because I don't think I want to not bring him back. So Nick Chubb is a 98, and he's 29. I don't know how he's free agent is that good. Landon Dickerson is definitely the priority. It literally does not matter. He is a priority because we have not really a good left guard right now, so that's a pretty darn priority. And yep, he is going to probably come to us. Thank goodness. Zaven Collins, he's a decent linebacker, and also we don't have to pay so much to get him, which is something I really like. We don't have to pay so much to get this 79 overall middle linebacker. Let's say outside, but that's not what he is. Greg Newsome. Ooh, Sante Samuel. I think I might want to go with Asante just because he's much more cheaper. Because, like, this would be pretty much an offer I might want to. Well, nah, I'm still going to go with Asante. Just, the only reason why I'm going with Asante over Greg Newsome is because literally they're just one overall behind, but it's also just because he's much more cheap. He's a cheaper option. So that's why I'm going with Asante Samuel over Greg Newsome. And also no one's offering for Asante Samuel because everybody wants Greg Newsome. So free safety, I think I might just want to get Justin Reed. But I don't think I'm most likely. Yeah, we don't have enough cap space. So. A drafting position. Sweet. Unless I could cut Amegable Agba, move that one guy we drafted in the 4th round, move him to left end. I mean, I guess that could work. It just depends on if we are going to get cap space back. That's the big part where that matters. We get 16 point, yeah. That's pretty darn worth it. 16.9. That's a lot of freaking money. So, yeah, I know now we have a need at left end. But now we have like so much more cap space than we did before. Now we should be able to get to Justin Reed, and now we should be also able to get maybe one other player potentially. So yeah, I think it's pretty darn worth it. The thing is just, who do I want to get? Elijah Moore, he's a good receiver. It's just, I don't think he's going to be good enough for me to want him to come, to actually go and sign him. I just don't know if I want to really bring him back. You know what? Yeah, let's get Green Blankenship. Much more cheaper, and also still a good option at free safety, which that equals to being a pretty good move. See, you gotta, like, not entirely just get best players at every position. That's not how the league works. And see, and now we have 21 million in cap space, so now we can potentially get a different player at that position, like Jadeveon Clowney. But I don't think I'm gonna get anybody from that position really. Javon Johnson as superstar dev, that is very interesting. I think I'd go get Elijah Lore because there's nobody else I want to get, and we could use a receiver as much as I don't want him. So, there you go. I think that's pretty much going to be it of who I want in terms of free agency. Everybody is gone, and we got everybody. Got all 5. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, we did get a worse free safety and corner, but they're younger and cheaper options. So, I think that's much more worth it. And poor Cody Durant, man. I kind of feel bad for him just not having him on the team in general. Because he kind of doesn't really deserve his matter at all. So I think I might want to trade him. We still need a middle linebacker because we don't really have any linebackers. So maybe free agency could be something I might want to look at. Alright, so 1.1 mil back. Now we just need to go get a linebacker. I think that's it then in terms of needs, though. So, do I just wait? Do I just wait on that? Or do I just go get a middle linebacker right now? I guess just go get one now. That's not the end of the world. Unless there is, like, no other middle linebacker option. But, again, But I think JOK would not be the bad option here. Because, again, we're running a 3-4, so... Oh, JOK is gone. Oh. Who's a... CJ Mosley... Eric Kendricks... I think I'm just going to try to get Jermaine Davis. I'm going to try to get Jermaine Davis. I don't know if this is going to be accepted. I mean, I am offering a lot of money. I just don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it. So I think I am going to just address it in a linebacker position heading into the draft. Just because I really don't know if I want to bring him back.
On the clock now, it's the Miami
All right.
Dolphins.
So we get pick 14 to address the middle linebacker position. Unless there's some other good receiver out there or corner. But outside of that, I think it's going to just be middle linebacker. I did not mean to look at corner. So the best remaining middle linebacker, and the only one that's expected to go in the first round, potentially, is Rashawn Hendrickson, who is very athletic and he has very good stats. I think it just makes sense to go get him. I don't care he's normal dead, by the way. I do not care. He is very athletic, and that's pretty much all I need to really know about. Because, yes, we do have a need at middle linebacker, but he's a arbitrarily good one. And I'll see y'all in the mid-season mark. Wow. Apparently we just get worse and worse. We are 2-5. Well, rebuild has been a fail, guys. Bye.